Welcome, dear students. Today's lesson is about Unit 3. Unit 3 is entitled, It All Went Wrong. The main focus on Unit 3, as you can see, is past tenses, word formation, and time expressions. We will talk about two texts, The Burglar's Friend on page 22, and The Thief, His Mother, and $2 billion on page 24. We will focus on in grammar about the past tenses, the past simple tense and the past continuous tense. On vocabulary, we will talk about irregular verb, adding suffixes to make different parts of speech, and how to make negatives. And in everyday English, we will talk about time expressions, how to say the dates, and the usage of at, on, and the prepositions with different time expressions. Now, on pages 23 to 24, we will talk about the past tense. In English grammar, the simple past tense is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. The simple past is the basic form of past tense in English. The time of the action can be in the recent past or the distant past, and action duration is not important. Example, I worked in London in 1990. Worked is the past form of the verb work. She lived with her aunt for 3 years. Lived is the past form of the verb live. We don't know if she lived the past 3 years, the last 3 years, or 3 years, 10 years ago. The duration, the action may be in the recent past or the distant past. There's also a useful video on YouTube. You can see the link below and click it if you would like to get further information. Now, in positive statements or sentences, to make a sentence in past tense, we use subject plus verb in past form plus the rest of the sentence. I played, the past simple tense of the verb play. I played cricket yesterday. He played cricket yesterday. They played cricket yesterday. For making positive statements in the simple past tense, you should notice how that we use the verb in the past form with all the subjects. The same form, the verb in the past tense with all the subjects. Now, in negative statements, we use subject, did not or didn't, with the verb in its base form with all the subjects and the rest of the sentence. I didn't talk to John last week. She didn't talk to John last week. You didn't talk to John last week. The negation will be on the auxiliary verb did. And the past tense, the auxiliary verb will be in the past tense while the main verb is in its base form. Okay? In negative sentences, the auxiliary verb is in the past tense, not the main verb. Okay? Now, in questions or interrogative statements, we use did, subject, then the verb in its base form, then the rest of the sentence. Did you complete the work? Did plus subject plus verb in its base form with all the subjects. Okay, and the rest of the sentence, and we do not forget the question mark. Now, let's listen to this video.
The past simple.
How do we form the past simple? Affirmative.
Subject plus verb in past tense plus object. We ate
some lovely pizzas last night.
Conjugating the past simple. Affirmative.
Conjugating means تصريف. In affirmative or positive sentences الجمل المثبتة.
I washed the car. You washed the car. He washed the car. She washed the car. We washed the car. They washed the car.
How do we form the past simple? Negative.
Subject plus did plus not plus verb plus object. Jim did not finish his homework.
Conjugating the past simple. Negative.
I did not wash the car. You did not wash the car. He did not wash the car. She did not wash the car. We did not wash the car. They did not wash the car.
We can contract the negative form of the auxiliary verb, do, in the past.
Contract يعني نختصر. نستطيع اختصار did not إلى didn't.
I did not. I didn't. You did not. You didn't. He did not. She did not. He didn't. She didn't. We did not. We didn't. They did not. They didn't.
How do we form the past simple? Interrogative.
Did plus subject plus verb plus object. Did you listen to music last night?
Conjugating the past simple. Interrogative.
Did I wash the car? Did you wash the car? Did he wash the car? Did she wash the car? Did we wash the car? Did they wash the car?
Now we have the verbs be, do, have, and irregular verbs in the past tense. You find these verbs in the appendix of a dictionary or in your English book. You must learn these words by how there is no other way to know how to conjugate تصريف, these verbs. The appendix is in your book material on your Google Classroom. Be, do, have in simple past. Be as a main verb with the pronouns I, he, she, it. In affirmative or positive statements or sentences, was. تصريف verb to be مع الضمائر I, he, she, it. Was. مع الضمائر we, you, they. Were. Is, was. Are, were. In negative sentences, was not or wasn't. Were not or weren't. In questions, we put the auxiliary verb, the main verb, at the beginning of the sentence. Was I in Rome? Were they in Rome? Okay? هذه هي القاعدة. Now, do as a main verb in the past tense with all the pronouns I, he, she, it, we, you, they, the same form. In affirmative sentences, I did exercises. In negative sentences, I did not do. We said that. I did not do exercises. Didn't. In questions, did I or did you do exercises? Okay. Now, as for have as a main verb, with all the pronouns I, he, she, it, we, you, they. In positive statements, I had. Have becomes had. I had a book. In negative statements, I didn't have. الفعل يرجع للspace form. I didn't have books. In questions, did I have books? Okay. Now, let's come to a key exercise on page 23. We also said that the key exercise is an important exercise. Here are the past tense forms of some irregular verbs. Write the infinitives. You might have something like that, like this question in the exam. And it's simple, and you should memorize these verbs by heart. Where, the infinitive is are. Saw, see. Went, go. Told, tell. Said, say. Had, have. We said that irregular verbs are the verbs that their form changes from the present to the past. Irregular verbs هي الأفعال نضيف لها إيدي في نهايتها. Play, played. هذا regular verb. بينما tell, told يتغير شكل الكلمة. هذا irregular verb. Had, have. Took, take. Gave, give. Got, get. Could, can. Made, make. Did, do. Now, when do we use the simple past tense? The simple past tense is used to talk about actions or situations in the past. It is used in the following situations. First, we use it when we talk about actions that were finished in the past. I visited Berlin last July. I went there and came back. The visit is finished. Okay, last July. Andrew watched TV yesterday. He finished watching TV yesterday. Okay, actions finished in the past. My parents ate a lot of junk food when they were young. My parents now are old. When they were young, they ate a lot of junk food. Okay? Second, when we talk about series of completed actions in the past. First, I got up, استيقظ. Then I had breakfast, تناولت الفطور. On Sunday, my brother and I went to a nice lake. There we met our friends and swam in the warm water and played volleyball in the afternoon. Went, met, swam are all irregular verbs. Played is a regular verb. These series of actions were completed in the past. So we use simple past tense. 3. Together with the past progressive or continuous tense, the simple past is interrupted an action which was in progress in the past. Let's explain this a little more. They were playing cards when the telephone rang. So the first action, the continuous process, or the verb in the progressive tense, was were playing. They began playing, they continued to play. There was an ongoing process. Then the second action, the ringing of the phone, interrupted the process of playing. So we put the verb in the past simple tense, rang. Okay? Sorry. This is a diagram to visualize the simple past tense, the situations in which we use the past simple tense. We said we use the past simple tense when we talk about something which started and finished in the past. Okay, this is the blue arrow refers to the action in the past tense which was finished. We said that we use it when we talk about series of actions in the past. I got up and had breakfast. Okay, the red arrow and the blue arrow, two actions in the past. We said that we use it with a progressive tense. Here, well, blue violet arrow. Look, the long arrow refers to the progressive tense. We were playing. Then the telephone rang. The red bar refers to the interruption action, which was the ringing of the telephone. Okay, these are the situations in which we use the past simple tense. Now, let's come to a key question on page 23. 3.3 says, write the past simple of these verbs. You can see they are divided into 4 groups, A, B, C, D. We will listen now and I'll tell you why they divided this way. Listen to the solution.
Tape script 3.3. Asked. Showed. Wanted. Walked. Started. Tried. Carried. Liked. Believed. Used. Stopped. Planned.
Now, in group A, all these verbs are regular verbs. We add ed in the end. Okay, asked, showed, ed, wanted, ed, walked, started. In group B, because the verb ends with y, we omit the y and add ied. Okay, tried. نحذف الواي ونضع ied. Carried, ied. In group C, because the verb ends with an e, we add only d. Liked, believed, only d. Used, only d. In the fourth group, we double the last consonant sound, the last letter. Stopped, double p-ed. Planned, double n-ed. Okay, should memorize these by heart also. Now, on page 24, we'll talk about past continuous tense. In English grammar, the past continuous tense is a verb construction that conveys an ongoing action in the past that has been completed. A process. The past continuous tense is also known as the past progressive. Example, I was sitting in the taxi when an old car hit it. I saw a wonderful girl at the mall. She was buying clothes. The process of buying clothes for girls takes a long time. She was buying, a process, a progressive process. So, the action of seeing the girl interrupted the process. So the action of interruption, as we said earlier, is in the past simple tense, see, saw, and the process is in past continuous tense, was buying. Okay? Now, when do you use the past continuous tense? First, when we talk about actions in progress at a special time in the past. Example, Peter was reading a book and taking notes yesterday evening. Reading a book and taking notes took a long time. It's right that it was yesterday, but it took a long time. So we use the progressive tense, was reading and was taking. But we didn't put was here because of the end, حرف العطف. So we do not need to repeat was, okay? Was reading and was taking. Now, when we talk about two actions were happening at the same time, the actions do not influence each other. Anne was writing a letter while Steve was having dinner. The two actions takes time. The two actions take time. Writing a letter takes a time, and having dinner takes a time, about half an hour maybe. So, Anne was writing a letter while Steve was having dinner. The two actions do not influence each other. Okay? So we use past progressive tense. We used also when we talk together with, we used, as we said in the third situation, together with the past simple tense. We said that a process interrupted by an action. While we were sitting at the breakfast table, the telephone rang. While she was making coffee, the telephone rang. A process. While sitting to have breakfast takes a time, a process. So we use past progressive tense. The action of interruption, the ringing of the telephone. While we were sitting at the breakfast table, the telephone rang. Okay? Now, the diagram of the past progressive tense, as we said, the situations. We said we use the past progressive tense when we talk about something which was happening around a period of time in the past. The blue arrow, the long blue arrow, refers to the process in the past. We also said that we use it to together with the past tense, and the pink bar here, the action of interruption interrupted the process. So the pink bar, or the action of interruption, is in the past simple tense, while the long arrow is in the past continuous tense. We said that we use it when two actions take place. They do not influence each other. Sally was writing a letter and Steve was having dinner. Two processes took place in the past, but they do not influence each other. Now, let's watch this video.
The past continuous.
How do we form the past continuous? Affirmative.
Subject plus was, were plus present participle plus object.
Andy was cooking dinner.
Conjugating the past continuous. Affirmative.
I was eating the apple. You were eating the apple. He was eating the apple. She was eating the apple. We were eating the apple. They were eating the apple.
How do we form the past continuous? Negative.
Subject plus was, were, plus not, plus present participle, plus object. They were not enjoying the meeting.
As you can see, using was or were depends on the subject.
Conjugating the past continuous. Negative.
I was not eating the apple.
With I, he, she, you use was.
You were not eating the apple.
With you, we, they, we
He
use
was
were.
not eating the apple. She was not eating the apple. We were not eating the apple. They were not eating the apple.
We can contract the negative form of the verb, be, in the past.
I was not. I wasn't. You were not. You weren't. He was not. She was not. He wasn't. She wasn't. We were not. We weren't. They were not. They weren't.
How do we form the past continuous? Interrogative.
Was, were, plus subject, plus present participle, plus object. Were you reading a book?
Conjugating the past continuous. Interrogative.
Was I eating the apple? Were you eating the apple? Was he eating the apple? Was she eating the apple? Were we eating the apple? Were they eating the apple?
Now I think the past continuous tense is clear how to form it in positive, negative, and interrogative statements. Now we come to reading on page 22. The text talks about a 4-year-old named Russell, 4-year-old boy. Let's listen to his story.
Unit 3, Tape Script 3.1.
The Burglar's Friend. It was 3 o'clock in the morning when 4-year-old Russell Brown woke up to go to the toilet. His parents were fast asleep in bed, but when he heard a noise in the living room and saw a light was on, he went downstairs. There he found 2 men, They asked him his name and told him they were friends of the family. Unfortunately, Russell believed them. They asked him where the video recorder was. Russell showed them and said they had a stereo and CD player too. The two men carried these to the kitchen. Russell also told them that his mother kept her purse in a drawer in the kitchen, so they took that. Russell even gave them his pocket money, 50p. They finally left at 4 a.m. They said, "Will you open the back door while we take these things to the car? Because we don't want to wake Mummy and Daddy, do we?" So Russell held the door open for them. He then went back to bed. His parents didn't know about the burglary until they got up the next day. His father said, "I couldn't be angry with Russell because he thought he was doing the right thing." Fortunately, the police caught the two burglars last week.
As you can see, the whole text is filled with verbs in the past tense. Now we come to the key question on the text, which you already heard. Write the past forms of these irregular verbs from the article. Woke, okay. Hear, heard. Find, found. Keep, kept. Leave, left. Hold, held. Think, thought. Catch, caught. You can find these verbs in the article. Here you can find it in the article. Okay. Now, as you can see here, walk, wake, catch, caught. Okay. So the verbs of this exercise is in the text, the previous text. Now we come to another text, which is a true story, by the way. Now, the thief, his mother, and $2 billion. Now, let's listen to the text. The exercise is within the text, so you can hear the solution from the tape script, and you can fill the blanks. Okay, let's listen.
Tape script 3.5. The thief, his mother, and $2 billion.
Pierre Doublet, 33, from Alsace in France, is the greatest art thief in Europe. Between 1995 and 2004, while he was working as a lorry driver, he stole 239 paintings from museums in France, Austria, and Denmark. He went into the museums just as they were closing and hid the paintings under his coat. Nobody looked at him because he was wearing a security guard's uniform. Back in his apartment, where he was living with his mother, he filled his bedroom with priceless works of art.
As you can see, the blanks, الخط المستمر هو the verbs in the past tense, while the dotted line, الخط المنقط بين الأقواس, هي past continuous tense. Pay attention when you hear them, okay? Stole, while he was living, okay? فالخط الواحد المستمر، الفراغ المستمر هو past simple tense، الأفعال in the past simple tense، while the dotted line النقاط بين الأقواس هي past progressive verb. Let's continue.
His mother, Sylvie, 53, thought all the paintings were copies. One day, while they were having supper, the police arrived, and they took Pierre to the police station. Sylvie was so angry with her son that she went to his room, took some paintings from the walls, and cut them into small pieces. Others she took and threw into the river. Altogether, she destroyed art worth $2 billion. Both mother and son are now in prison for many years.
This text is also a practice on using past simple tense and past progressive tense. Now let's come to a key exercise on page 28. This is something that you might see in an exam. Complete the charts below. There is verb and the noun derived from the verb, الاسم المشتق من الverb، أو ممكن يكون noun والadjective الصفة المشتقة من الnoun. Okay, here. This also you should memorize by heart. Explain, noun مالته explanation. Invitation, الverb مالته invite. Translate, noun translation. The noun decision, its verb is decide. Enjoy, enjoyment. Employ, employment. Okay. Improvement, جاية من improve. Discussion, جاية من discuss. Organize, organization. Imagine, imagination. Advertise, advertisement. دعاية. While here, adjective friendly, noun friend. Fame, الشهرة, famously. Laziness, الكسل, lazily. Patient, patience. Now patient جاية بمعنى الصبر أو صابر. Patience الصبر. Patient صابر وليس بمعنى المريض. الادجكتيف هو صابر، بينما لو جدتي patient noun فيكون معناها مريض. Happy, happiness. Care, الاهتمام, carefully. Different, difference. Help, helpful. Beauty, beautiful. Guilt, guilty. Important, importance. Danger, dangerous. حاولوا تفرقون بين الاسم والadjective والverb. ممكن هيجي نموذج يأتيكم بالامتحان إن شاء الله. Now, we come to another key exercise on page 28. How to make negatives. We can make adjectives and verbs negative. يعني negative شنو للadjective والverbs؟ هي opposite. By using these prefixes. Prefixes هي الإضافات اللي في البداية. للadjectives تكون الإضافات an, im, in, or il. While for the verbs we add un or this. Here are some examples. In adjectives, as we said, able, unable. Afraid, unafraid. تعطي المعنى وعكسه. Available, unavailable. Aware, unaware. il, legal, illegal. Legible, illegible. Literate, illiterate. Logical, illogical. Mature, immature. Perfect, imperfect. Possible, impossible. Precise, imprecise. وأخيرا in. Accurate, inaccurate. Credible, incredible. Definite, indefinite. Significant, insignificant. بالنسبة للadjectives. For the verbs, we add the is. Appoint, disappoint. Approve, disapprove. Agree, disagree. Regard, disregard. Load, unload. Pack, unpack. Do, undo. Fasten, unfasten. This is also important. Now, on page 28, complete the sentences using a word from the box and a prefix. هاي هي الكلمات الموجودة بالبوكس. البريفكسز اللي انت قبل شوية شفناها اللي هي هنا. هذه الإضافات. السؤال ينص على أنه تستعمل سواء هذه أفعال أو صفات. أوكي. معها الإضافات اللي معروفة. و تحلها، وهذا أيضا ممكن نموذج يأتي بالامتحان. Now let's listen to the solution. Pay attention with me. Before I play the tape script. Now, number 1, don't go into my bedroom. الإضافة أيضا تعتمد على المعنى. إنه أنت فهمت المعنى، فبالإضافة تعطي العكس أو النيجاتيف مالته. Don't go into my bedroom. لماذا نمنع شخصا من دخول غرفتنا؟ Because it's غير مرتبة. It's really what? Now نأتي إلى البوكس اللي بالكلمات pack, possible, agree, tidy, fair, like, appear, employed, legal, polite. most logical choice هو tidy. tidy مرتب. لكن بما أنه أنا منعت الشخص أنه يدخل إلى my bedroom، فإذا هي عكس tidy اللي هي untidy. Okay? So don't go into my bedroom, it's really untidy. وهكذا بالنسبة لبقية sentences. Let's hear.
Tape script 3.9. 1.
Don't go into my...
Sorry.
Tape script 3.9. 1.
Don't go into my bedroom. It's really untidy.
2.
I can't do maths. For me, it's an impossible subject.
Impossible.
3.
I don't dislike fish.
Dislike.
I just prefer meat.
4.
In England, it's very impolite to ask someone how much they earn.
Impolite.
5.
When we arrived at the hotel, we unpacked our suitcases.
Unpack.
6.
I was unemployed for 2 years. Then I got a job in an office.
Unemployed.
7.
I think learning languages is stupid.
I disagree. I think it's a good idea.
Disagree.
8.
The thief stole my bag, ran into the crowd and disappeared. I never saw him again.
Disappeared.
9.
It's illegal to drive if you aren't insured.
Illegal.
10.
You gave her more money than me. That's unfair.
Unfair. I hope you paid attention to the solution. Now, we come to everyday English and time expressions. This is also a key topic or important topic. Now, there are 2 ways of saying dates. What are they? Let's listen to the first tape script, how to read these dates. 8/1 98 16/7 85 25/11 02. Okay, let's listen in both ways how they are read or said.
Tape script 3.10.
The 8th of January 1998. January the 8th, 1998.
2 ways. Listen.
The 16th of July, 1985. July the 16th, 1985. The 25th of November, 2002. November the 25th, 2002.
As you heard, there are 2 ways. First, they say the day, then the month, and last the year. The other way, they say the month first, then the day, then the year. Okay? The same dates can be read or written in 2 ways. First, the American English, then the British English. Now, let's hear the American English way of saying time expressions.
Tape script 3.11.
January 8th, 1998. July 16th, 1985. November 25th, 2002.
So, you heard that in the American English, they say the month first, here, January, July, November. then they say the day and the year. So now, if you have a document or a website, even when you sign for the first time in a Google account or a Yahoo Mail, you will find that they ask for month first, then the day, then the year. Even you find them written in this way, MMDDYY. So, whenever you know that you are reading in American English or writing in American English, you have a document in an American English a way, you know that you should write the month first, no matter what the number is, okay? Then the day, then the year. The opposite is the British English. They mention the day, then the month, then the year. Let's listen.
Tape script 3.12.
June the 4th. The 5th of August. The 31st of July. March the 1st. February the 3rd. The 21st of January, 1988. December the 2nd, 1996. The 5th of April, 1980. June the 11th, 1965. The 18th of October, 2000. January the 31st, 2005.
بالنسبة للبريتش انجلش دائما تكون الطريقة انه كتابة day then the month. حتى لو بالقراءة احنا شفنا the April the 5th قرأوا الشهر اولا بعدين قال اليوم. حتى لو هو قرأ الشهر اول مرة، لكن هو بالكتابة pay attention بالكتابة دائما يكتبون اليوم 21 2 5 11 18 31. بالنسبة للأرقام اللي فوق 12 اللي هي 31 18 21 هاي تكون معروفة، تعرف هذا يوم رأسا، لأن انت المنص عندك من 1 ل 12، لكن تجي الأرقام المحيرة أمثال 5 و2 ما تعرف هل هي هاي الشهر أو اليوم. من تعرف انه هاي الدوكيومنت او هذا الويب سايت او اللي مكتوب هو in British English، تعرف انه الرقم اللي بالبداية هو day حتى وان كان اقل من 12 day. 5 والاثنين والدعش second وfifth و11th هذه day. فالفرق بين الامريكان انجلش والبريتش انجلش والتايم اكسبريشنز انه الامريكان يكتبون كتابة دا نحكي حتى وان قرأ الشهر، الامريكان يكتبون المانث اولا بعدين اليوم، بينما البريتش يكتبون الداي اليوم بعدين الشهر. Okay, this is the difference. This is also a key question ممكن تنسأل عنه بالامتحان. Now we come to the last topic of unit 3. Prepositions of time: at, in, on. This is also a key topic on page 29. الموضوع جدا سهل بهذا الشارت. at preposition at يستخدم دائما مع precise time، يعني at 3 o'clock, at 10:30 a.m., at noon وقت الظهيرة دائما محدد نفسه هو، حتى لو ما كان أرقام هو at noon. at dinner time أيضا محدد dinner time مهما اختلف الساعة هو dinner time وقت العشاء معلوم. at bedtime وقت النوم، سواء bedtime هو 10 مساء أو 2 صباحا هو bedtime. at sunrise الشروق مهما اختلفت ساعته وقت معلوم محدد. at sunset at the moment هذه اللحظة. okay. at يستخدم مع precise time. in يستخدم مع months, years, centuries and long periods. Example: in May month. In summer. Seasons. In the summer. In 1990. Years. In the 90s. Long periods. In the next century. Centuries. In the Ice Age. هذا also a long period. In the past or the future. In إذا تستخدم مع months, years, centuries and long periods. Okay. On تستخدم مع dates and dates, occasions. يعني days of the week from Sunday to Saturday. On Sunday. On Tuesdays. جميع أيام الثلاثاء. Okay. On 6th of March. If we say only March, in March. لكن من استخدمنا day اليوم استخدم on. Okay. الشهر استخدم in. اليوم استخدم مع on 25th of December 2010. On Christmas Day. هذا occasion. تاريخ محدد هو Christmas 25th. On Independence Day بالنسبة للأمريكان هو 4th of July. On my birthday. birthday أيضا تاريخ محدد فأستخدم له on لأنه تاريخ ميلادي ما يتبدل. On New Year's Eve أيضا ليلة 31 على 31/12 فهذا أيضا date محدد فيستخدم له on. Okay. So at with precise time. In with months, years, centuries and long periods. On مع days and dates and occasions. Thank you very much for your listening and we'll see you next time.